here's what we need to do, myself included, and I'm still working on it. If we're on staff, if we're leaders in the church, volunteer leaders, whatever, elders maybe, we've got to prioritize our part, prioritize your part, and empower others to do their part. Now, that might sound easy to you, but that's actually pretty difficult, right? So let me ask you this, if you're on staff, what are your priorities? What are your priorities? And are you devoted to them? What are those few things? Maybe it's not prayer and ministry of the word like it was for the apostles, but what are those few things that you're saying, man, I have been called to this. I've been gifted to do this. This is my highest contribution to the team. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to empower others to do their part. So think about it, ministers and leaders, as a difference between a shotgun blast that sprays everywhere. There's a big spray, right? So we're doing ministry for everybody, everywhere, all the time. We just do it, right? There's some people on staff that they're like that. And who knows, maybe they're spiritually gifted to do that. I don't know. I'm not one of them, but they're everywhere. But here's what the apostles did. They didn't do that. They said, we're going to be laser-like focused. The difference between the blast of a shotgun spray and a laser beam. Think about how focused that ministry was for them. That's what we have to do. We've got to prioritize our part. But there's something else that we've got to do. We've got to empower others to do their part. So ministers, volunteer leaders, elders, whoever, who are you empowering? Who are you empowering, and what are you empowering them to do? Are you giving away significant ministry and having open hands and let other people lead, let other people serve? I think that a lot of times it's easy for us as church leaders to operate like Newpedia. So Newpedia, for those of you who don't know, it was started by Jimmy Wells and Larry Sanger in 2000. And their idea was to have an online encyclopedia. And so their approach to this online encyclopedia was they wanted to get the experts. They wanted to get people who had the degrees and had the training, and they got these experts together and said, we're going to have this extensive, thorough review process, and it's going to be perfect. And so these experts, 3 years later, they had written an amount of articles. Well, as that was happening, the next year, Jimmy and Larry created Wikipedia. And wiki is a Hawaiian word that means quick. And so it was the exact opposite approach. They thought, okay, we've got these experts making these articles. What if we just let anybody write about anything? And we empower literally anyone to get involved and to contribute. And so in 3 years' time, Newpedia and their experts, they created 24 whole articles. Wow. Can you believe that? And then in 1 year time, Wikipedia had people contribute over 20,000 articles. And today, 23 years later, after Wikipedia was started, there's over 62 million articles on Wikipedia. Now look, teachers, I know what you're thinking right now. We don't let our students use Wikipedia. Okay, okay. But the point remains. If you're on staff, if you're a volunteer leader, you got to decide. Are you going to be a Newpedia kind of church and leader, or are you going to be a Wikipedia church and leader? Are you going to only let staff and only let the credentialed people from seminary? If that was the case, I wouldn't be able to preach, so don't tell anybody that. That's between you and me. But are we only going to let the experts do stuff, or are we going to empower everybody to get involved in ministry? Obviously, there's nuances to it, but are we going to get people